It's time for Dog Talk Tuesday, where we
Yes,
help you do health from the inside out. I'm your host, Andrea Parti, and this is
Sandra King from Dog Nutrition Naturally. Good morning.
Good Morning. And here we are. And today we're going to talk about probiotics. This is the third in our series
Okay.
of fabulous stuff everyone should know.
Yeah.
Um, so, so of course, I can't remember what I was going to say because, I had to rush and get out of the shower and do all that stuff. So,
Well, what are probiotics?
well,
This is a test.
oh, I'm failing. What are probiotics, Sandra?
They're bacteria.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
But I thought we're supposed to kill bacteria. Bacteria is bad.
No, bacteria is good. Even the ones we think are bad have a purpose.
Absolutely. And they need to stay balanced. And if they're not
Yep.
balanced, we become sick, we have no immune system, and we can't digest our food.
Yeah. And, I think everybody knows these days, it's pretty common knowledge that, in our guts, in our guts, we have about 5 pounds of bacteria.
Right.
That's a lot.
It is. And it's funny, you and I talk about this all the time, but I'm surprised at how many people don't know this. So it's
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
if we repeat it because you don't know where everybody else is.
No, that's true. I think this kind of information is becoming more and more out there these days. So, but
Sure.
yeah, I'm quite sure there's a lot of people that don't know that. But also, since this is Dog Talk Tuesday, dogs have bacteria in their guts too, right?
Oh, yes, and they need it.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. So, um, some of the reason, because you and I are all the time talking to people whose dogs have health problems, almost always. Doesn't really matter what's wrong with the dog. Um, their their microbiome, we're always using that word, the right microbiome, their guts, right, are
Yes.
not functioning properly, so their immune systems are not functioning properly. And so one of the ways to help that improve is by using probiotics.
Right. Right.
Just introducing more beneficial bacteria.
Right, to see if we can get that balance back and so that the
Right.
whole body starts to work because that's what health from the inside out is all about.
That's
It's
right, and that's
it's
where it starts.
getting that natural balance back so that
That's right.
so the body creates healthier cells and we get better as we go along. It's like
Yeah.
reversing the time clock.
Well, yeah, it kind of is. And so, like I say, it doesn't really matter what health problem you're talking about. All health really originates in the gut. In the gut. So, one of the critical things for improving any kind of health problem is by restoring balance in the gut, right?
Right.
Okay, and one of the ways we do this is by using probiotics, of course,
Right.
right?
And of course we only use NSP
Well,
and
there's reasons why we use NSP, and as we're always saying, the reason why we use NSP products is that quality of the product is guaranteed for us, and so we don't have to worry about whether or not the bacteria that is contained within those little capsules is active or not. I
right.
mean, what's the point in giving it if it's dead, right?
Right. And there's a lot of dead stuff out there.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So that's something that we don't have to worry about. So when we use probiotic 11 from Nature's Sunshine, for example, which contains, it's called probiotic 11 because it contains 11 different strains of beneficial bacteria. Because we have many strains of bacteria in our guts, but those are the sort of the top 11. And since we're both mammals, humans and dogs, many of those bacterial strains are the same. So we can give them to our dogs.
Right. And because of the miracle of the microbiome, really, once you get some good stuff in there, it starts to rebalance itself and it
It
can
does.
create
Other strains.
other strains by
Yeah,
what we
that's
give
right.
it.
That's right. So yeah. So probiotics, one of those absolutely critical things for health for everybody. And these days, between one thing and another, because everybody's just taking so many antibiotics all the time, and it seems like you can't take your dog to the vet without them getting antibiotics for something.
Right. Right.
You have to restore that bacterial balance in the gut because antibiotics just kill it all,
Yeah.
right?
It does.
I mean, think about this. I mean, just, the people that are listening to us have this talk. You know, the last time your dog was at the vet, did did your dog get some antibiotics?
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet they did, right?
Right.
So,
Well, you
so
know, and the other thing, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I just want to mention that a dog on a high carb diet is also not going to have the right balance of bacteria
no,
because,
no, because because the carbohydrates metabolized as sugar feed the pathogens,
right,
right? They
like
feed the bad stuff.
yeast.
Yeah, they feed the bad stuff. So,
Yeah, so it becomes unnaturally unbalanced and it
yeah,
stinks.
yeah, that's right.
So,
So we work always towards rebalancing, the gut function.
right, right.
And then other things improve, skin things improve, all kinds of things improve if you can do that first, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay,
So,
now I really wanted to do, it sounds really self serving, but I wanted to do a little bit about the difference in probiotics because
mhm,
I just want people to understand what they're doing, what they're buying.
okay.
And of course, we love NSP. And we love NSP because they're tested. But, you know, and we talk about that all the time. But the thing with probiotics is there's also prebiotics inside the capsules to keep the probiotics alive,
Oh, well, the thing about
to
prebiotics
feed
is
them.
I mean, just as a simple way to describe that, prebiotics are just food for the beneficial bacteria. Bacteria are, live microorganisms, so they need to eat something.
And it's why we keep them in the fridge so they don't die.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We keep them in the fridge so they won't die, but also they need a source of food to live, like everything, right?
Right, right,
So yeah, so there's some prebiotics in the probiotic formulas, and that's the reason why.
right. And the other thing I wanted to mention, because I didn't know this for a long time, was that when NSP fills the capsules, they actually put more
Hmm.
probiotics and prebiotics than is on the label
Well,
because they
yeah,
know when they ship it to you, some of them is gonna will die because they're not being kept cool.
yeah, and that's the thing. And so when you buy probiotics from the store, for example, I'm not saying there aren't some good ones out there, but I sure don't know which ones they are. But the thing is, when you buy probiotics from the store, it may say there's a certain number of billion beneficial bacteria in the bottle, and that may be true at the time of manufacture, okay?
Right,
But by the time you actually buy that thing, open the bottle, right, and then they're exposed to air, half of them are dead and gone.
right, right,
Yeah. So don't think just because it says, certain number of billion on the bottle that that's what you're actually getting because those, bacteria are, they're little fragile things, they're little fragile microorganisms and they die very easily, you know, when exposed to air, for example, and
right.
just, shelf life. You don't know how long that thing's been sitting on the shelf, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's many things that can affect the quality of a probiotic product, you know?
Right.
So if I'm going to buy that, I want to make sure that there's so much in there that by the end of, the time when my bottle is empty, that I still have the same value in the bottle as I had, which was stated on the bottle. Does that make kind
Absolutely.
of
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always something to remember when purchasing probiotics is that even though it says on the bottle that there's such and such in there, which was like I say likely true at the point of manufacture, but not necessarily true by the time you open the bottle and thereafter.
Right. And you have no idea how long it's been sitting on the shelf or where it was in transit or anything like that. The other thing is that I see that the store that I go to, I see a lot of probiotics just on the regular shelf with vitamins, and it's like how can you sell this? There's no way it's alive, it's not refrigerated, it's not anything. So
Yeah,
they've jumped
that's
on,
it.
so many companies have jumped on the bandwagon that it's really unfair to consumers.
Well, never mind. That's the way it goes.
No,
I
I
mean,
know. Again, I just want to make people aware. And the only other thing was stuff like yogurt.
oh well,
Well,
those.
okay, so yogurt is not a food for dogs. It isn't,
Well, it's
y'all.
not the food for dogs, number one, and these are, yogurt as a source of beneficial bacteria to me just makes me laugh. I mean, it's just a marketing gimmick, you know.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up because I have people, and I have people who, I've worked with that say, "Oh, well, I don't need them because I'm giving my dog yogurt." And I'm like,
Yeah, there's so many reasons why you shouldn't give your dog dairy products, but
right.
if
But
you think
anyway, they're not alive. And by the way, if it's been pasteurized, well, that just killed them anyway. So, it's pointless.
no, yeah, it really just is. So my advice there, without going into a big long tirade about it, is don't waste your money.
I know. It's so funny. Back about 9 years ago, I used to like really literally go on a tirade about everything. And now it's like,
Yeah,
well, okay, we should just know. And,
yeah, no, that's right. So,
there's no
so
point.
there's something else you wanted to talk about probiotic. Oh, how to take them, right?
Yes. And the difference between taking them with food or away from food.
Yeah, well, it depends what your purpose is. When you take probiotics with food, they become a source of they become a digestive aid. All right,
Yes.
so they just help you eat up, digest your food, break it down, all that kind of stuff. When you take probiotics away from food on an empty stomach, they basically just bypass everything and go straight into the gut, which is where you want them, right?
And that's what I like. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use them for either purpose. It's both purposes are beneficial, but try to think about what do I actually want that probiotic to do? Do I want it to help me break down my food, or do I want it to help me restore balance in my gut, right?
Right. And then, of course, if it restores balance in the gut, then as time goes on, it will help you digest your food.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's my best advice is,
Right.
take them on an empty stomach because you will get maximum benefit that way. They'll improve the health of your gut microbiome, but they'll also help you digest your food anyway because your food's got to wind up there anyhow and be absorbed from the small intestine. So,
Right. Right. And I will say that personally, it's like colostrum, probiotics. She absolutely loves the taste of them, so I'd rather give them as a treat.
yeah, oh yeah.
At
Well,
bedtime, it's really fun. And then I can give enzymes with the meal to, help everything work as good as well as it can.
well, Teddy in the morning, it's his thing. First thing in the morning, after we come back from the walk, right? He gets his probiotics, his enzymes, and his colostrum. Just for my hand. Here you go. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And if I somehow forget, which I have been known to do the odd time, he's sitting there looking at me.
I was going to ask if he stares or if he does the dance. I
He
mean, I
doesn't.
love how if you
He
forget
doesn't do the
something, they might
dance.
just
My
do the
old dog
dance.
Jack used to do the dance, but Teddy just gets this look on his face like, I think you forgot something.
Yeah. You're not on track, Mom.
Yeah,
Remember,
I
it's
dropped the
walk,
ball.
pills.
Anyway, so not to fool around, but yeah, probiotics, that's how they work.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty. Well, that was fun. I hope it was enjoyable for everybody else, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
It's time for Dog Talk Tuesday, where we
Yes.
help you do health from the inside out. I'm your host, Andrea Partee, and this is
Sandra King from Dog Nutrition Naturally. Good morning.
Good Morning. And here we are. And today we're going to talk about probiotics. This is the third in our series
Okay.
of fabulous stuff everyone should know.
Yeah.
Um, so, of course, I can't remember what I was going to say because, I had to rush and get out of the shower and do all that stuff. So,
Well, what are probiotics?
well,
This is a test.
oh, I'm failing. What are probiotics, Sandra?
They're bacteria.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
But I thought we're supposed to kill bacteria. Bacteria is bad.
No, bacteria is good. Even the ones we think are bad have a purpose.
Absolutely. And they need to stay balanced. And if they're not
Yeah.
balanced, we become sick, we have no immune system, and we can't digest our food.
Yeah, and I think everybody knows these days is pretty common knowledge that in our guts, we have about 5 pounds of bacteria.
Right.
That's a lot.
It is.